When you say you've worked with people all over the world, are these the same kinds of clients you would have in Madison, but you're just connecting with them over the internet?
Yeah, that's right. So I helped someone get into an EMBA program, an executive MBA program in Australia. Contacted me. One of my high school classmates is in England, and her daughter in England was applying to schools, to high schools, actually, prep schools at Exeter and places like that in the United States. So I helped her, and we talked by Skype, and that all worked out just fine. So it is really amazing what's possible. But here I get to sometimes actually have coffee or meet with people in person or bring my computer out to the EVP and sit there and just work on the resume right then and there. And it's a different experience, which I really appreciate.
And do you have any other ambitions in writing besides doing the essay and promotion work you're doing now?
That's a good question. I think about writing a book. It's still in that same area. I'm not really a fiction writer to speak of, but I do have an idea that I want to start an Artist's Way group, which is an Unblock Your Creativity group. And I'd love to have it be some business people from the Madison area who are interested in just exploring their creative side, because it's so easy to say, oh yeah, the guitar under the couch, or oh yeah, I used to write poetry, but now I have a family and a business. And I think it's so important for people to get to express themselves that way. So that's one of the things, it's one of my projects that I'm looking at to make a difference for some people in the Madison community.
And if I was somebody who needed help from a writer, what would you want to tell me that would make me want to come to you for the business?
Well, what kind of writing?
Well, I mean, you're aiming mostly at people who are doing resumes.
Right.
So what would you like people to know about what you can bring to their resume writing?
Well, as I mentioned before, my formats are now gorgeous. So that's one thing. I think what I really bring is that I listen really well. I have life coach training as well as the writing training. So I'll listen to someone, I'll be able to hear what's important to put on there, what's not. I work with clients. It's not like you send me stuff and then I just do it. Like, I work as a team. And at the end of the time working with me, you'll feel like your team won, and you'll have a great product and go out there and be able to get results with whatever the document is that we worked on. And I also think that people, when they work with me afterwards, they really like themselves more in a way. Like, they get something about who they are that they didn't get before. That's true of the resumes and cover letters, and it's especially true of the essay work that I do, because you're being asked to put your life into 2 pages. And how do you do that? So I have a conversation, I listen, I hear for the things that connect to each other in your life. I'll just ask you to talk and ask questions, and then something will start to kind of formulate and come together that you might not even have known was a theme in your life, but actually it's showing up over and over again, and it makes a really effective essay. So I find a way to get a lot of information into a small space that way. And then, you come out really knowing yourself better and being kind of proud and impressed about who you are that you might not have even known before.
If I was applying to a college and I came to you for help, how long would it take me to put together an application or a resume?
Well, for college, it would probably be the essay, the application essay. That really depends a lot on you, because we will have a conversation. A lot of times what people get stuck on is getting started. They have either too many ideas, or they're just stuck in thinking of any idea. So after a conversation with me, which might take an hour for an initial conversation, then you're going to have a much better sense of what you can write. You'll have an idea of an outline of what you can really put down on paper and in what order. And then, you can actually start writing. So people who've been procrastinating for a really long time, even months, and can't get themselves to write. I get a lot of people like that because they're desperate. They're really ready. They need help. So, and when someone like that comes to me, often they talk to me, and the next day they've written a draft of their essay, because it unblocks whatever is there in the way. So once there's an initial draft, the process can actually be very fast for some people. It can be done in a week. It goes back and forth to me. I'd say that's the other thing, why people would want to work with me as opposed to someone else, is I have pretty quick turnaround times. I'm reliable. I get the work done. I have someone who just contacted me. He had written to me a couple months ago, decided not to work with me, and he just wrote to me again. He said, the person I decided to hire didn't do the work. She told me, she kept telling me she'd send me a draft, and she never did. And that just doesn't happen with me. I'll be in communication. If there's something I can't do, I'll let you know. But I will always give you the product. So how long does it take? A lot of that depends on you. How fast do you answer the questions I've asked you to answer? How fast do you write a draft? Do you sit there and be stuck and not call me because you're stuck? Or do you get stuck and call me immediately to get it unstuck? All of that affects the amount of time that it takes.
And so, just to be clear, if somebody comes to you for assistance, you're not writing an essay for them, you're not writing a resume for them, you're helping them write it.
That's mostly true. For the essays, that's absolutely true, because I really think colleges or law schools or grad schools want to know how you can write. So if I write the essay for you, I have an ethical issue with that. So I always, for those kinds of situations, require that my client write the first draft, and then I will help. I will teach you whatever you need to know about grammar and writing. You'll come out a better writer too. My clients who I work with, especially if it's several essays, by the end of that process, you're going to be a better writer. So that is true. For the resumes, it's a little bit different. You're not being tested on how well you can write a resume. But that process is more of a coaching process. So I'll be on the phone with someone and I will write it, but with a lot of input, and I'll keep checking in with the client to make sure that it really expresses the most important things that they've done and expresses them correctly.
You mentioned that you have a website and a blog. Do you want to tell us what those are or how to find them?
I sure do. My website is www.theessayexpert.com. So it has a THE at the beginning of it and 2 E's in the middle of it. theessayexpert.com. And if you go to that website on the home page, you'll see in the left-hand navigation bar a link to the blog. But the blog link really is just theessayexpert.com/blog.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to have as a part of this?
Do you want a phone number?
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. Whatever you want.
If you want to reach me by phone, you can call 608-467-0067. And if you want to email me, you can email me at brendab@theessayexpert.com.
Okay.
Oh, and the other thing that you should know is that I do provide a 15-minute free consultation. So if anyone is interested, wants to know more about my services, wants to know how I can help you, just call and you get your first 15 minutes free.
You must have been a lawyer in a previous life.
I was a lawyer in a previous life.
Okay. Anything else? Are you? Okay.
I think that's
I'm good. That was wonderful. Thank you.